4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Stations, we're coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, mark. 1 minute stations, 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds stations. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, live from Acme Oyster House. Acme Oyster House, life's more fun with seafood. Welcome to this special edition of the Mike Bloomgren Show, highlighting the Owls' appearance in the First Responder Bowl. The Mike Bloomgren Show is brought to you by The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, lighting up Rice University and Houston for over 100 years. Now, alongside Coach Bloomgren, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Well, we made it. We are back for a special presentation here at the Patterson Center, talking some Rice football appropriately here. A bowl preview special. The Rice Owls and Texas State Bobcats in the Serve Pro First Responders Bowl coming up the day after Christmas. 4:30 start time on ESPN. Can catch that one across the globe. Also on the Varsity Network app, the Rice Owls Game Day app, and riceowls.com. It's the 14th bowl game in Rice Owls history, the 8th in Texas, and the 6th inside the DFW area. So we want a big crowd out there. Going to talk about how you can get some tickets in just a second, but we have a fun bowl preview show for you. We are on the video side of things. We check that. You can catch us on the Owls YouTube, Facebook, and the X feeds. And we're also on the Varsity Network app, the Rice Owls Game Day app, riceowls.com. See the nice owl in the back? I thought that. It's scary when you have an audio guy trying to do video, but I like the way we got it set up here. We're in the Owls. I don't know if you'll call this the cafeteria. What are we calling this? Just the lobby? Just the lobby? Okay, sorry. I thought there was another term, but if you've never been in here, it is quite remarkable, recognizing the great right inside on the football side of things, great murals, and of course right outside the Rice Stadium. And right by the concourse here. On the show, we have Mike Bloomgren talking about that great end to the Rice Owls season, and a lot of topics to get to with him. And we have a couple of seniors that are going to be going out in style. We have the great Juma Ottaviano talking about his time here. He educated me and confirmed it, that he'd never been on a show. You know, those Rice guys in their classes, he had never been on one. So this will be a good time to get him on the last show before his final game as a Rice Owl. And then we have Mr. Luke McCaffrey. He'll come on and talk about not only his season, look a little bit at the Texas State Bobcats. We also have OC Marcus Tuiasosopo. He did not come on during the season, but we have him now for this bowl special here, and a lot of things to discuss, that Texas State defense, and we'll talk about some storylines around the offense. And then sprinkled in some other Texas State questions, too, throughout the show. But Coach Bloomgren will come back, and we'll have an extended preview looking at G.J. Kinney and his fast-tempoed, fast-paced Texas State Bobcats offense. They've put up some good numbers this year. TJ Finley at quarterback. They've got a lot of talent out there on both sides of the ball. But just pulled it up earlier, and we want you out there. Obviously, right after Christmas, but we want you out there. It's very easy to get to, of course, just right up the road. I know in the past, going through Dallas at some Rice events, we've got a great alumni contingent up there in the big DFW area, but there's a Bowl Central page that gets you all the details you need for this bowl game coming up, and different bowl packages. I know there's a fan bus that's leaving here, if you're in the Houston area, that's leaving at 9 a.m. on that morning. Got to train myself to say that it is a Tuesday game instead of the traditional Saturday game. But there's a fan bus that's leaving for the game. There's a game day tailgate that's coming up. That's 1:30 to 4:30, the Boulevard, right by the SMU campus. You can go to ricehouse.com/tailgate, and a lot of other things surrounding the bowl game that you can look up, and we want you a part, supporting our Owls there against Texas State. But stay tuned. Coming up next, enough of me yapping. Let's get to one of the men of the hour. Stay tuned. Coming up here in just a second, the Mike Bloomgren Show, a bowl preview special. Stay tuned. We've got Coach Bloomgren coming up next here live at the Patterson Center. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Shoppers has the right John Deere for your piece of Texas. If you're looking for a tractor, gator, or lawnmower, let the experts at Shoppers give you the right answers to your John Deere questions. Shoppers makes buying a piece of John Deere equipment easy with our online Build It, Price It, Own It tool. You can add attachments specific to your needs or check out our ready-to-go John Deere tractor packages. See all that Shoppers has to offer by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Shoppers, equipment for your piece of Texas, and proud sponsors of Rice Owl Athletics.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar, the talking spokes oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is, sleeping. You know, we oysters like our pets. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Live from Acme Oyster House, this is a special bowl edition of the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
We are here at the Patterson Center. I like the backdrop. Coach,
It's awesome.
What do you think?
I've always loved that since we put it in. Yeah,
they left Walter and me in charge of where to set up, so that was scary. So I just said, let's do it right here.
Yeah, I trust y'all.
How are you doing?
Really good, man.
Yeah, I guess continue the conversation from the break. You got all your Christmas shopping done, or is that close to being done?
No. Luckily, Laura takes care of the boys for the most part, and I've got a couple things that I wanted to say. Like, hey, I really think they'd like this if she lets me order that. But the problem with handling everything in your family is when nobody's handling you, and that's what I realized yesterday. Is I didn't have a whole lot of presents for her, but we're making it happen.
And then. You mind looking at that there? You might have to adjust the camera there. We have the star coach here. With the bowl game being, there you go.
There we go.
Adjust on the fly.
Sir.
With the bowl game being when it is, you're obviously very grateful at the time. Is that affect the Christmas shopping and the holiday plans, but in a good way, right?
It did. I think the bottom line is we're going to have this unbelievable Christmas meal with our team on Christmas Day. And what else can you ask for? We talk about not only will the staff and the players be there, but our families and the players' families, and that's what it's all about. So it's just like Thanksgiving was for us. It was really cool, and I think this will be awesome to have this family dinner together for Christmas dinner. But in terms of opening presents and some things like that, I know this from past experience. No matter where you're at on Christmas Day, we've been in bowl games for a couple of them. Or hotels for bowl games, I should say, on Christmas Day, and Santa always finds you, and I know he will this year too. So yeah. It's all good.
Well, discuss the end of the season, because since we last talked, Nate obviously did a great job filling in for me going into that last game, but my gosh, you ended very emphatically to clinch that bowl. Just go into what you thought the guys did so well in those last two games to bring us to this great occasion here, get ready for a bowl.
Yeah, I thought this. I thought you talk about Charlotte, and, when you're going on the road, you got to pack your defense. And I thought our defense showed up and played really well. And we had a running game that showed up. And, I just look at how our season went. And, I don't know if it was week 7 or week 8 or week 9, we were leading the conference in passing. We were top 5 in America. And then we have a quarterback go down. And so you look at the job that Coach Tuiasosopo did by transitioning our offense to be something completely different, to find a different way to win. And we had to do that as a team. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of, right? And then you look at it in the moment of whether it's Juma running the ball or Dean running the ball, and those guys finding a way to make the chains move and get the ball in the end zone. It's Luke McCaffrey, right, that makes a play of the game to put us in position to win that thing. And a guy that showed up for us all year, and a couple of those receivers that just didn't matter who was at quarterback. They were just going to make some plays, but Luke is certainly the one we leaned on. And it's so awesome to see him as we jump into the American, take that big jump, him be first team all conference in that year, and in our first year. And that was awesome. And so really thankful for Luke, thankful for Tui and him finding a way, and thankful for our defense.
Mm-hmm. As the program grows, 2 straight years with a bowl, what does that mean to move this thing forward and get the guys going up to Dallas here?
Yeah, it means everything. It's just, again, another step as we keep taking steps in this program, keep taking jumps. And again, they'll never be as big as we want them to be, right? We wanted to win 10 games in our first year. That wasn't going to happen. But what these guys have done in this program, I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of their leadership. You know, it's interesting. We come back today after having 5 days off. And last night we had a meeting and everybody's rah, excited. And we get on the field today and I didn't feel it like the tempo was what it should have been. You know, it was at times, but it wasn't for the entirety of the 2-hour practice. So as I've grown, I didn't maybe talk to some players as I would have in the past. I called our leadership council up and I just asked him, I was like, Luke, you guys have built this thing. It's something you want to be so proud of, and you've got a chance to make sure the standard's continually going up. And for you guys that are coming back, you've got a chance to make sure the bar is raising. These are extra practices that help our program go forward. So when you talk about the value of the bowl, it's not just the extra game. I mean, that's awesome. We all want an opportunity to play together again. It's those practices. It's the growth of your program to, again, go from hopefully 7 wins this year that we're fighting for, and we're going to win the bowl game, and everybody in our program knows that, to what can we do next year? And look at the foundation that all these guys laid. And, you know, I talk about Luke, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Clay Servin and Ari and Juma. Like, those guys going from 2018 in this program when it was, man, really a tough place to be, and coming off a 1 win and still choosing to come here and then choosing to fight the fight. Like, there were so many fights daily and weekly to get this thing to where it is today. I just hope they're so proud of what they've done.
You've talked about this a lot in other settings, but what's so different now than when you came over, do you think? You always talk about the standard, it's different, but what are a couple things that are different now than, I guess, now 7 years ago almost?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. The way we can take care of the players, somebody told me, actually Tommy McClellan told me a stat the other day, in our first 5 years together, talking about me being at Rice, we had 8 games on national TV. Or maybe it was 9. And then this year, in our first year in the American, we've had 8 on national TV. So you just talk about the impact of the American and our presence nationally. And that's really good. So I think it's 1 less than the 5 years prior we've had on national TV this year. And so there's so many things we've been able to grow with and help these players. But the biggest difference in the program from now, or for now, from when we took it over, is simply the players. The players are so much better. They believe so much in what we're doing, and they're more talented. And it makes it a lot easier to be a coach, that's for sure.
And one of those that was very talented that announced his retirement since we've last talked, JT Daniels. How tough was that, and going through that with him? And I'm sure there was some talks between you two, just what he not only meant this year, but just what he's done as a great college career.
Yeah, you know, this game is so good for so many ways. I don't think anything takes boys to men and grows responsibility and leadership better than our game. But there's very few people that get to retire from it on their own terms. And unfortunately, this happened earlier, and he wanted it too. But he's come around a little bit, and so again, my heart breaks for him that he didn't get to finish the way he wanted to. But again, like you saw these guys, they rallied around him. Hey, he's not going to be our quarterback anymore. Let's go find a way to win. Let's find new ways to win, and that's been really cool to be a part of.
And with the way A.J. Padgett's come in, what would you think of him, that season finale, the regular season finale, 255, and what have you seen him grow? The more reps he's gotten, he's seemed more comfortable back there.
Yeah, I think we've all seen growth, right? Especially when you take it in a 3-game segment. It's been, this one was better than that one, and this one was better than that one. But the bottom line is we've still not seen the best of A.J. Padgett. Like, he is so much more talented. What he's able to operate in practice is what we've got to be able to start getting him to do in games. And that's what we're all looking forward to. And we're trying to give him the best tools. And that's the thing about a bowl game, right? He got the luxury of all those bowl practices last year. But remember, we played like 2 days ago last year. So it was a shortened bowl season. This is a full bowl season that's going to feel like a spring ball, if you will, where we can have him as comfortable with this as any install we do in a spring game segment or a training camp segment. And I expect him to go out there and play really well.
In our last pregame interview we did just upstairs in your office, we were talking about seniors during senior day. Now we have a little more time to unpack it. Memories, this is the first class all the way through with you, right? After some of the other guys were with Coach Bailiff in the
Indeed.
Extra years. So
Yep.
what has this class as a whole meant to you? And we talked about that growth earlier, but just on a whole, what have they meant and what stands out?
Yeah, gosh, it's hard to quantify that because they mean so much. And again, it's really those fights day in and day out that they were willing to stand like locked arms and just find a way to fight through those things. Those things are tough, man. And there's people that when you take over a program that don't see things the way you see them. More than that, they don't necessarily want to work at what it takes to win in college football. And maybe it's not what they signed up for. So there's those growing pains. And then there's the growing pains of, okay, now we're better, but we're still not where we want to be. How do we keep fighting to take another step? And they were willing to stay in the fight. And again, I'm really glad they get to see this reward and get to enjoy this bowl game, because as good as last year was in Mobile, like these guys, some of them have told me that was the best time of their life, was being at that bowl game. Well, I hope it was, but this one's going to be even better because they're going to be around their same teammates, and we're going to be in a first-class hotel that the Cotton Bowl uses, and in downtown Dallas. We've got so many cool things planned for them, including on the 23rd, they get to go watch the Mavs game, so it's going to be Luka versus Wemby, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's been sold out for months, and there's just so many fun things that we have planned for these guys. But they understand that there's going to be a time to play, and there's going to be a time to work, because we are focused on winning that game.
Yeah, speaking of, a few levels above my pay grade, Coach, but when this is set up and you're playing a good regional opponent like this, pretty easy drive and commute for the fans and alumni base both sides. What, in a sense, goes into that and matching it up? It seems like it's a good matchup from looking at it from their point of view and your point of view, too.
Yeah, JP, in terms of choosing those matchups, those are way beyond my pay grade.
You too, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. What I can tell you is Laura Bloomgren's really happy both dogs get to come to the hotel with us.
Okay.
I mean, so that's better than Hawaii, although I think we would have enjoyed Hawaii too.
Find a way.
But hey, we'll be happy with what they gave us and know that this is a great opportunity for us and a great opponent. You talk about a regional opponent, yeah, like we're fired up about that. Anytime our kids can play a team in the state of Texas, they're excited, because these guys played together in Pop Warner. They played together in high school or against each other. We always know people on those teams when we play a Texas team, so it's kind of a natural rivalry, if you will.
I know we'll deeper dive in their game preview segment in a second, but what jumps out initially when you heard about them and some things when you go deeper dive in the film and in the video of them?
Yeah, I think as a first-year head coach, G.J. Kinney has done a fabulous job. You know, he's really done the Colorado experiment maybe better than they have. They brought in 58 transfers, I believe, and they're here at 7 wins. And that's impressive to be able to bring all those different guys mixed with the ones that already existed at Texas State and make it happen to get to 7 wins. So I think he's doing a masterful job. I think you look at their defense, and it's kind of been a couple different tales, if you will. Like sometimes you watch them in the first half of a game, and they're really doing well. And in the second half, maybe they let a few plays go that they wouldn't have in the first half, if you will. Now, offensively, they are tempo. They are going to go, and they are going to look like Josh Heupel, if you will. I think GJ was at UCF with Heupel, and you see so many of those tendencies. And you know, the interesting thing right now is we're preparing for them as if they're at their best. And we have no idea who's going to play for them offensively right now. And that's really interesting. When they talk about their quarterback and their running back may not play in the game, they're saying they will. But at the same time, then you hear people say, this kid's about to transfer here and this kid's going to transfer there. And you know that if they're going to be somewhere in January, they're anxious to get there and they got to get enrolled and all those things. So, you know, it doesn't matter to us who they roll out there. It's just like us tonight, right? Like, the restaurant's not open, so we're going to do it in the Patterson Center lobby. I'd do it in the parking lot. I don't care. Like who we play and where we play them is immaterial. We get another game together as a football team, and we're so thankful for that.
So the work never stops. I know you can't go into specifics, but signing day coming up on Wednesday. One, how different is that, juggling that with the bowl game? Welcome, added pressure, I know, but how happy are you with the class that's coming up?
Oh, I love the class. I love the high school class, and I love the portal group that I don't think anybody publicly fully knows right now, and that's really exciting for me. Like, I'm going to have a lot of fun announcing that class and talking about how I believe they'll help our football team on Wednesday. But the thing is, what's funny about it is it's sandwiched between a great bowl practice and a quick Zoom, and then we'll have a team activity that afternoon. So it's certainly not the signing day of old. I was actually talking to Coach Tuiasosopo about this today. Like, signing day used to be this grand presentation, and you'd fill like a ballroom of people, and you talk about each signee. And now, not only does it not happen in February, it happens in December, and it's almost lost in the midst of bowls. So in some ways, I don't like that. Like, I used to love the fact that we got to really talk about the future of our program. But then again, I'm on these calls where we're talking about having a signing day in August potentially next year. So it's going to be really extreme. So people will sign before their senior years potentially.
Okay, that's a whole other
segment. That's a whole other call.
Hey, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Dunleavy Family Head Football Coach for Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren. Coming up next, we have Juma Ottaviano coming up here to the table. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show live at the Patterson Center from Learfield.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment. 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, the official beer partner of Rice Athletics, and now available for purchase everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitzed. Down he goes.
The speed.
40. There he goes. Down the sideline.
Western College football.
Toward the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30. 20.
This is the College Football Bliss. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Behind every door at Houston Methodist, you know what to expect. Expertise. Whether it's life-saving brain surgery, your 3D mammogram that catches breast cancer sooner, or orthopedic specialists helping you feel stronger than ever. With hundreds of doors across Houston, you can get expert care everywhere.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
As the Owls prepare for the First Responder Bowl, we hear from head coach Mike Bloomgren. Now let's go back inside Acme Oyster House.
We are back here at the Patterson Center with a special bowl preview edition of the Mike Bloomgren Show. Stay tuned in just a bit. We have Luke McCaffrey, then we have OC Marcus Tuiasosopo. Brought the crew here for this one. Maybe we get some family members. No? Maybe? No? Maybe? Okay. I'm not shy. I'll do it. And then Coach Bloomgren comes back, and we'll do a deep dive preview of those Texas State Bobcats. But a very familiar name for you. It is Rice Owls redshirt senior Juma Ottaviano. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on out. We were talking before this thing signed on. You've been here forever and a day, your first show here. So
yeah.
Good to get you coming out the door, huh?
Most definitely.
Yeah. Discuss 6 years, right? Mm-hmm. Had that right with the extra year built in there. What's all the you've got so much behind you and one more game coming up as you reflect back? What are some things that come to your mind as you look at it?
First and foremost, I'm just grateful for the journey coming into this facility, this program. We had a vision of just doing something great here, and to finally be living out those dreams and aspirations that we had coming to Rice is truly amazing.
And when you're getting recruited to come here versus what it is now, what's that like looking back? Because you also went through some tough times to get to this point. So what's that been like?
It makes it all worthwhile. You know, like you come in, you have a vision, and then things don't go exactly the way you plan it, but that's what makes the journey so amazing. And then just being here in this situation that we're in right now, we're just grateful to be here.
Discuss your role this season and how you and Dean Connors complement each other so well. Haven't seen anything like that in a while. How Thunder and Lightning, I don't know if y'all have some nickname we all don't know about yet, but y'all are perfect complements for each other, aren't you?
So over the summer, we had an internship at Title Loans, and we just was with each other each and every day. And after going through the spring, we decided to call ourselves Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
And, you know, it goes on every single meal, and it just hits right on every single meal. So, like, we just felt that that's the best way to describe us.
Dean the Salt, you're the Pepper.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
I figured
sir.
as much.
Sir. It's as obvious as the statement is.
Yeah, no, from what you've seen in Salt's role, what Dean has done, and talking to him a couple weeks ago, I did another interview that we'll play on the bowl game broadcast, just speak what you've seen, because you know it like nobody else.
Yeah.
The things he's gone through, but how he's ascending in his role. It's been a unique journey that you've seen.
Yeah. So I remember last season him not knowing who he is just yet as a football player, still trying to find it. And this year just bursting onto the scene, just showing his explosiveness, his speed, the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, going down the field to catch the ball. He's a complete ball player. And, man, he's just helped me grow as a football player, just showing me that I need to expand my game and open it to be more versatile in this offense as well.
You've come up big in so many games in the past. I bet you have your favorite, the Old Dominion game. Was that your true freshman or redshirt freshman year?
True freshman, yeah.
So take us through some of your game highlights and just even team moments. What are some of the things you'll cherish over these 6 years?
Every win that we had, because I feel like we truly had to work for it. And here recently, I feel like there's a lot of games that we didn't finish the way we wanted to, but just cherishing each and every win, because it's hard to win a football game in college football. It's not as easy in high school. You're not running. It's not just a clear difference in talent. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to really come out each and every week and work and just know who you want to be when you step out in that field and follow through.
But come on, just us talking and the folks here, that game against ODU. Be telling the grandkids about that one, right? Be selfish for a minute and talk about yourself.
For sure. I didn't even know I was going to start that game. I think Friday, Aston Walter went down with like a sickness, and then Saturday I was told that I was going to be playing, and in my mind I was like, this is everything I've been waiting for. And I remember playing Old Dominion, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was tied ball game, and I remember Coach Kershaw yelling on the sideline, somebody's got to make the play. Who's going to make the play? And then probably a couple plays after that, I ripped an 80-yard touchdown to just get things going. And just looking back on it now, I was just happy to just be put in that position, because during that game, there was a lot of freshmen that happened to play that game, and it was crazy. And maybe a lot of people are wrote us off, but, man, we found a way to win that game.
Mm-hmm. So you've got a good demo or resume to tell someone, hey, I've been through, when you talk to the young guys, you can tell them, like, hey, I've been in your shoes. I don't know if they have any old man nicknames for you. You've been here a while. Like,
they just call me Unc. That's it.
Unc, okay.
Yeah, the typical 6th-year senior, nicknames. Not crazy.
So how is it mentoring some of those guys, and even some guys we might not know about yet from the field, but how is it mentoring them?
It's amazing, because some of the guys that are in our freshman class, they grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so they kind of heard of me before they got in here. So there was just a natural respect for me, but like just seeing them around, just giving them little nuggets that I picked up along the way, being here for 6 years, just telling them just keep their head down, keep working, because they're coming in expecting these really huge goals and aspirations to happen, like just show up and just, happen. And that's just not how things happen to go. And you got to kind of work each and every day, form an identity, and just establish who you are. And that self-confidence that you build each and every day just gets you to where you want to be. So I just try to instill confidence in them when they feel down about not making a play or messing up here and there, because we're all human. And the sooner we realize that, we can become the person we want to be.
So what you graduated, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What did you major in, and what do you want to do?
So I majored in psychology, and I'm currently getting my master's in global affairs. The future is unknown for me. I have no idea what I want to do. Taking an internship at the Port of Houston, and hopefully just, living out some aspirations in oil and gas and energy. So we'll see where that takes me.
Good town to do that, right?
Yes, sir.
And not too far from home, so you still got the family up the freeway just a bit, right?
Yes, sir.
How neat is it going back, kind of ending it in a sense where it all started? Close, I know Arlington's a good piece down I-30 there, but how neat is that? Or have you focused on that yet?
Bittersweet. Haven't given it much thought, but just thinking about it right now, just being able to play in front of family and friends that see me at Arlington Martin play and had all these hopes for me to go off and be special and come back to Dallas and play in front of them one last time as a Rice Owl would be amazing. And looking forward to end it off with a win for sure.
All right, salt and pepper. Give me a good detail. I'm gonna me and Nate. We could be salt and pepper too, maybe. I don't know on the boot side. Got to get a nickname there too. Hey, thank you very much. It's been so cool following your progress and calling your games, and you'll crush it in life. You don't know what you're going to do yet, but you'll be amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Jim Ottaviano of our Rice Owls. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Luke McCaffrey. A little bit out wide there. He'll join us coming up next year at the Patterson Center, a special bowl preview edition here on the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The Parking Spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the Parking Spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Football fans are passionate, just like John Deere fans. And if you're a John Deere person, the name to know is Shoppers. In football, it's about calling the right plays. The right call for John Deere equipment is Shoppers. Shoppers has a right-sized John Deere tractor with attachments for any job. You can build your tractor online with Shoppers' exclusive Build It, Price It, Own It tool. See all our John Deere specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. It's time for you to make the right call. Shoppers, equipment for your piece of Texas, and proud sponsor of Rice Owl Athletics.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Highlighting the Owls' appearance in the First Responder Bowl. Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Hey, that's me back at the Patterson Center, the head of the operations where everything happens around Rice football. Coming up next segment, we'll have OC Marcus Tuiasosopo, and then Coach Bloomgren and I will preview G.J. Kinney and his Texas State Bobcats. That's the Serve Pro First Responders Bowl coming up December 26th against Texas State. 4:30 is that start time. ESPN, Varsity Network app, Owls Game Day app, all the regular channels. It's the 14th bowl game in Rice history, and be lining up outside, inside, all around the field. On the offensive side, it is Luke McCaffrey. How are we doing, good man?
Doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, appreciate it coming out. All ball now. You had classes in, 2.5 weeks ago?
We had finals in last week, middle of last week.
So, yeah, on the basketball sense, we're dealing with that too. We had some games, and on the football sense, take a deep breath. How neat is it to have, even though you love the books and the challenge of coming to Rice, just having just all ball? How's that been?
It's the best time of the year.
Yeah.
Fall camp, a lot of people complain about because you're working long hours, but similar to that, all you're doing is football. All you have to do is show up to the facility and follow your schedule. So I love it. I know our team loves it. We have a bunch of guys who love to play the game and love to learn about the game.
Yeah, and you're definitely one of those two. First team all conference this year. Was that a surprise at all, or and the feeling of getting such a great honor in our first year in the AAC?
Yeah, you never know with those awards. Those are better off picked by somebody else. But I think it's a tribute to our team and how our operation worked this year. Just from JT and AJ throwing the ball from our O-line, picking up blitzes and doing everything there, and then from every weapon that we have. I don't think anybody would be able to succeed as an individual without others on the field and without them doing their roles and being the threat that they are. And so to have other guys out there like Rawson who can catch any 50-50 ball, like Dean running out of the backfield, Juma making plays every single series. And I think that's just a tribute to our team and how we operate.
What strides do you think you made this season? Another year behind you receiving, getting used to that. I mean, athletes are athletes. You could play anywhere, but what strides do you think you made these 12 games?
Oh, there's a lot. You just gain experience, and I think that's the biggest thing. And you're going to learn little things week in and week out, and that's where you see it. It's probably going to take a year to go over every single thing that you learn, but overall to keep it broad, it's that experience and the camaraderie that you learn throughout the game that helps you grow.
So as we've talked about in other interviews, refresh it for those that didn't catch it the other time. The first time you met Coach Bloomgren to now, you've had a lot of time in between there and a few games at quarterback and obviously a lot at wide receiver. Just that process not only with him, but just how there's one more game left here that has to be very, very cool for you. Yeah,
it's been so special. This last 3 years has been a blessing. I can't thank Coach Bloom, Coach Tui enough. I said this the other day, but I meant it. I think they really changed my life, right? Just to look at the man I was coming into Rice football to who I am now, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who've come and gone throughout the wayward, but I can't thank them enough for just the impact that they've had on me, the trust that they've put in me, and the confidence that they've sort of let me grow, and I'm so thankful for them, and I'm so excited to be able to play one more.
Where have you seen the team grow throughout the year? You had that strong finish. Where do you think the team has matured the most?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of young guys grow in the confidence area, and I think Dean's a great example of that. He's one of my good buddies, so maybe I'm a little selfish in seeing this, but to be able to see his journey and his growth in football and in running the football and in pass protection, knowing what to do and understanding what he's doing and knowing that he's good enough to do it all has been pretty special. I think you see that with AJ too the last 3 weeks. Like Coach Bloom said, he's gotten better every single week, and it's not things that we were surprised about, but it's things that you work through, you learn, and you grow each and every snap, and it's something that's really cool to watch when you're somebody in the same building and in the same premises as people going through those journeys.
5-10 years from now, what do you think you reflect and remember most about your time at Rice?
Oh, it's always the people. It's always the people who you grow relationships with and you get to spend so much time with, right? You're never going to remember every single thing that happens, but you're going to remember how those people made you feel. You're going to remember going through battle with them, and you're going to remember that those are the people that have your back and you have theirs. That's the beautiful part about football is that bond that you grow with your teammates.
Anything that stood out with Texas State's defense so far?
They got a lot of really good players. They got great edge pressure, which sets up a lot of blitzes and different simulated pressures that they can do on the edge and play zone coverage. But I think they're going to play solid. They're going to want to speed the game up. They're going to want to turn the ball over and put us in negative situations. And so as long as we can keep ahead of the sticks and stay in control, keep playing our ball, I'm excited.
Coach mentioned earlier about A.J. Padgett progressing over his 3 games. What have you seen, and any development of chemistry you've needed over those 3 games since it was JT, obviously, that played the first part of the season?
Yeah, it's been a blast. I think first off, even week 1 of him starting, his personality is electric, right? He's a person that it's fun to play with. I compare him to Josh Allen a lot just because he's somebody who has a very personality-driven atmosphere and attitude towards the game. He's so genuine, and it's really fun to play with. It's fun to listen to him call a play in the huddle and go through some things. But I think anytime you're thrown into a situation late in the year, you haven't had every single rep with the first team, and so to watch that chemistry build, to watch his knowledge of the offense and his confidence grow over the last 3 weeks, I think we've seen a major jump, and hopefully these past couple weeks where he's been able to slow it down again and kind of get that camp that he missed at the beginning of the year has been really helpful, and I'm excited to see that go through the rest of this week in practice and in our game on Tuesday.
Last week and a half, it was announced you were chosen for the East-West Shrine game. What's that mean to you, and what was your reaction?
Oh, it means a lot. I'm excited. It's a great opportunity, and I love playing football, so any opportunity that I'll get to play football is a blessing. But again, I think I look back at the journey that I've had and the coaches and the influence of Tui and Bloom and how them and Kershaw have really been able to helped me mold into who I'm becoming and who I eventually want to be, right? And I think that's so special, and that time is so precious and valuable, and just thankful as I look back at that and look forward to the future.
All right, we can do something unique here, because I don't know if you knew this. We've never had somebody watching our show and also watching the Manning cast, because we understand Big Brother's on the Manning cast right now. So give Mom a message, and the family, I'm sure, watching in. We want them watching you on the show here, but just give the family a message and what they've meant to you, because you have such a unique backstory.
Oh, they mean the world to me. I don't know, some people who know my mom knows that she keeps track of who the favorite is, right? And so I think the shout out on this right here better rise me up to number one. And so just so thankful for their support, and they get talked about a lot, but not enough. And so I'm so thankful for every single step of the way, and just the different ways that they've been able to fill roles of support.
So is it true she's the athlete of the family?
Oh, yes. That's not a secret anymore, but still all the true, right? She was a stud soccer player and has taught us everything we know from an athletic standpoint.
All right. See, Mom, got you the shout out. Christian ain't doing that. Okay, we got it. Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Continue great luck. Thank you very much. The one and the only 10, Luke McCaffrey. Yeah, got MannyCast, got dual screens there going, understand, at the McCaffrey household. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have Coach Tui, Marcus Tuiasosopo, the OC, joining us here. We're at the Patterson Center for a bowl preview special. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Hey, Oscar, wake up. Hi, this is Otis and Oscar, the talking spokes oysters for Acme Oyster House. You've probably seen us on TV. My friend Oscar is, sleeping. You know, we oysters like our pets. Anyway, drop by tonight for a dozen raw, a dozen char grilled, a seafood platter or po' boy, and maybe a few laughs. Come Acme, bro. Not you. Acme Oyster House. Life's more fun with seafood.
At True Anomaly Brewing, our greatest achievement lives in knowing that everything we've learned is yours to enjoy. While it may not be rocket science, we brew with the same detail and dedication learned while running mission operations for NASA. Taking risks is part of our DNA. We don't take them just to say we did, we take them because of the result. Bold brews we're proud to share with fellow adventure seekers. True Anomaly Brewing, beer for the explorers.
The newly renovated Houston Marriott Medical Center Museum District is a proud new sponsor of Rice University Athletics. For visiting families and fans, the closest hotel to Rice University is delighted to offer preferred rates. Guests will enjoy 2 new restaurants, a new exclusive M Club lounge, and complimentary shuttle service within 2 miles of the hotel. Visit Marriott.com to learn more.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitzed. Down he goes.
The speed.
By 40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
Western College football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Live from Acme Oyster House, this is a special bowl edition of the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
We are at the Patterson Center talking some Rice House football. Here our bowl preview special with OC Marcus Tuiasosopo. How are we doing?
Doing great, JP. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks. No oysters this time, but I'll find a way. I made it up with Coach Kershaw last season. I'll find a way to make it up for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset about that. And I got JT to thank. I guess we were supposed to come on maybe one of the earlier weeks, but he had something to do, so He said, Coach, we're not going. I was like, are you kidding? I was looking forward to those oysters, the gumbo, the blue cheese salad. I mean, I had it all planned out.
Yeah, Chuck was a wedge salad. He threw down some wedge sandwiches there. He loved them. Thanks for coming out tonight, though. Might as well talk about what we had the last two segments, two of your key offensive players. What's it meant to Coach Juma and Luke here the last couple seasons?
Man, this is what it's all about, right? You heard them talk. They're well-spoken. I mean, these are the guys that just exemplify who are in our program. I mean, these guys do a great job in the classroom. Man, they lay it on the line every Saturday. They work so hard, and to see them get to this point and, all the accolades that are coming to them, it's just, this is why we do this. It's about helping young men achieve their dreams or try to become the best versions of themselves on the field and off.
Let's talk some Tui first before we break down maybe some of Texas State. Where were you and what did you feel when it was you were told you were nominated for the Broyles Award? Very distinguished assistant coach nomination you got a few weeks back.
I was probably in my office watching film.
Good bet for
I don't remember who told me, or usually it's a coach. We're always on Twitter looking at or X. I don't even know what you call it anymore, but like what's going on in recruiting. What's going on well, and someone had mentioned that, and it's really cool. Obviously, I just think it's just an example of what's going on in your program. Obviously, I have a title, and I have the final say in the game plan. I get to call the plays out there, but there's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot of guys that I work with that do an awesome job. They work really, really hard. Sanders Davis with the O-line, Kershaw with the receivers, John Sell with the backs, and Lucas Reed with the tight ends. They put a tremendous amount of time and work into the young men that we get to coach. They have a lot of insight, a lot of advice for the game plan, and they stand on the table for things. And sometimes I have a great idea what I want to do, and there's some blind spots in the game plan, and they bring those ideas to the table, and we're able to put the thing together. So from my standpoint of how I work, I work with great guys. And then really it's about the players. We're trying to put our best players in the best position to succeed. And when they do that, that's why we're able to do some of the things that we did this fall. And so to me, that just shines a light on your program. Obviously, my name was on it, but it's really what we did. I also have a passion to coach. I love it. I'm having a blast. I'm so thankful to Coach Bloomgren for believing in me 3 years ago. I love it here, and I'm excited to, have one more game this year and finish it right. But I think it's really cool for the program, and we're just going to continue to try to get better than we were the week before.
Describe what the offense did better down the stretch, because it's, in a way, a tale of two seasons with and without JT, but still you made some strides there, particularly running the ball towards the end of the season. What have you liked as you're going into the bowl game offensively?
I think you kind of heard it from Coach Bloom and from Juma and Luke. For me, the confidence of our young men to actually go in a game when it mattered and execute and win the game, and that's a huge step for our program. So it was fun to see them do that, especially when we had those opportunities in the last 2 years, and we just missed the mark. It wasn't for a lack of effort. Obviously you got to put the preparation and the effort together and then go out and do it. So to be able to see them do that is huge for this program. As far as the style in which we did it, Coach had mentioned, JT going down, and you have a young QB that's, I think, really talented. He can run. Obviously, he's not as fast as some of the other quarterbacks we have in the room, but he can run enough to keep the defense honest and actually make them nervous. But he can throw it really well, too. The thing that I think we saw in AJ was when you're backing up a guy that's really talented and you see the production he's putting on the field. Now when it's your turn, as much as we try to, hey, just go out there, take it easy, first progression, check it down. He doesn't think that way. He's like, no, I'm a competitor. I see JT's throwing the ball for 300 yards a game. We're scoring points against teams we're not supposed to. We're actually in games that we're not supposed to be in. I'm going to do that. I have to. I'm a quarterback. We lead our team to win. So I think you saw him put a lot of pressure on himself. And so we just kind of, hey, take a step back. Just relax. You don't have to win the game. You don't have to be special. Just do your job one play at a time. And so that was exciting to see his progression kind of calm down and be able just to play. But back to the run game, which really, really shined as the season went on. And I think we came to a point, maybe it was just right before midseason, where we were just inconsistent, and it was just for various reasons. And when you think about, we brought 2 guys in from the portal, and then they have to get inundated with our system, kind of assimilate themselves and how we want to do it with that group. I think there were some communication things that we were working through, and we just kind of came to a point where we said the buck has to stop here. All right, let's go. We're better than what we're showing. And it's a credit to those guys up front. They did it, and it's challenging. And that's the toughness that you need to win, the confidence in yourself to do it. That was really cool. That helped AJ. I think they realized, hey, we need to help this young man out. They love him for who he is, which is he's a competitor. He's going to run through the wall. But I think it was important for our group to kind of rally around him, and they did. And it was fun. And we talked about Dean, talked about Juma and the way they run the ball. I mean, they run hard. I mean, there was major holes that were being open. And when you run the ball like that, the defense is going to devise some schemes to stop it. And they ran around them or through them. And so I think their will to win really took over, and that was exciting. And it's really them. I mean, we have plays that we love. We have plays that we want to work. But ultimately, the guys take it, and they take the baton from you, and they go out and execute it. So certainly excited with how we ended the season there.
Finally, when I put together my depth charts here the last few days, looking at that Texas State defense, they get attention for the offense, but they obviously have some playmakers on that side of the ball. Just what does Coach Kenny and the staff like to do on the defensive side of the ball?
Man, they like to disrupt. They're going to disrupt the front. They want to disrupt your quarterback. I think that they want to pressure. And sometimes it's not exotic pressure, but it's just enough, I think, to try to disrupt the quarterback and his rhythm and the timing. It's not a super complex scheme, but it's going to be cover 3. They're going to midpoint the corners. They're going to bail outside leverage. The linebackers are going to sit in zones. Now there's some space out there, but we have to be very detailed in our routes and get our depths and the timing. And if we can do that, then I think we're going to have a chance to hit some seams and find some open space. But with how they play on offense, I think they just really want the defense to try to disrupt the offense. And they will give up some big plays, and we're gonna have to make some. But I think they think we'll give up a couple of big plays because we're gonna keep coming after you.
Mm-hmm. And I lied. Finally, here, are you gonna, if the schedule works out, you find some time in January if a certain alma mater of yours is playing down the road to be able to go out there, or you fit that in? Or
I laugh because I don't know if you can find any time anymore in college football. I mean, it's. My wife's yelling at me to have time for the family and have my phone with me. You better not be recruiting. I'm like, I can now. Sorry. But, man, it's kind of fun to see the season that they put together. And yeah, I'm sure if they make it here, I'm sure we'll have a couple opportunities to go connect with some old teammates and stuff. So certainly rooting from afar, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm kind of glad I'm living in Houston right now if that happens.
Yeah, it works out. Hey, thanks for everything you helped the broadcast with, and we appreciate it. Thanks for coming on out here tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for everything you do for Rice football.
Yeah, appreciate you. Tui, the one and the only. Stay tuned. Coming up, we'll preview those Texas State Bobcats some more with Coach Bloomgren. Our final segment of our final show coming up here at the Patterson Center here for our final Mike Bloomgren show here from Learfield.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment. 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling, the official beer partner of Rice Athletics, and now available for purchase everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
Shoppers has the right John Deere for your piece of Texas. If you're looking for a tractor, gator, or lawnmower, let the experts at Shoppers give you the right answers to your John Deere questions. Shoppers makes buying a piece of John Deere equipment easy with our online Build It, Price It, Own It tool. You can add attachments specific to your needs or check out our ready-to-go John Deere tractor packages. See all that Shoppers has to offer by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Shoppers, equipment for your piece of Texas, and proud sponsors of Rice Owl Athletics.
As the Owls prepare for the First Responder Bowl, we hear from head coach Mike Bloomgren. Now let's go back inside Acme Oyster House.
Back at the Patterson Center. Thank you, though, so much to Acme for hosting us for those other 12 episodes here of the season. Final segment, final show with Dunleavy Family Head football coach Mike Bloomgren. Texas State, in a second, wanted to allow a second not only to talk about the players and Tui that have been on, but the staff that not only has come out here, but making things easier on you. As a coach.
I think from a staff standpoint, just Chuck Poole and honestly you and Walter making this show go so easy, and Chuck with all he does behind the scenes, that's awesome. And, whether it's talking about Sidney Davis or seeing Destiny Brantley in the back there, it's just great having everybody here in this family atmosphere really being what it is. But these young men, talking about them, it was interesting to hear Juma talk about the different games and some of those things. I can sit back, I think, and listen and think about it differently. I think about Old Dominion. That story's so true. Dude got Thanksgiving poisoning going to Aston Walters got Thanksgiving poisoning going to somebody's house. And in comes Juma and rushes for 226 yards and gets a helmet sticker in his freshman year. And literally his first carries, some of his real first carries were against LSU, in Tiger Stadium. And I think scoring a touchdown, which is freaking awesome. But I think about him going 4 games last year without really getting a carry. Literally helped on special teams. He did things selflessly. And then at La Tech, we gave him the ball and we basically said, we're going to jump on your back and see if you can take us and find a way to win this game. And we did it in overtime. And then even this last game, as we're struggling to find ways to move the ball against FAU, hey, 15 carries, Juma. Let's make it happen. Make it happen for this football team. And he always comes through. And, and Luke's the same way. I mean, Luke's play after play, he doesn't have a touchdown catch this year that's normal, right? He doesn't have one where you, catch the ball on the 40 and run it in. Every one of them, somebody's ripping his helmet off or picking his nose. And, it's, unbelievable that he holds onto the ball. But what he does to fight for his teammates. I can't think of a time where he came out of a game, with the hits he takes, with the way he sells out for this team. It's just unbelievable. And I think all that ties back to Tui. When you think about, yes, Tui has great schemes and he's an unbelievable football mind, but it's the warrior mindset that he brings to these guys and the passion. And I think that's what you see right now with our offense, and that's really fun.
Looking at Texas State, G.J. Kinney, I go back to following him in high school.
Yeah.
He's the son of a great coach. Then he was the record-setting quarterback at Tulsa, right? So an offensive guy, and he's had a great offense here this season, almost not to a surprise, the way he has led this offense. And his Incarnate Word offense, I guess, has traveled over like a lot of his players came from Incarnate Word, too.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, did he play for Coach Traylor at Gilmer? Is that right?
Yes, for 1 year, a couple years, yeah.
So, again, we know what a great coach Jeff Traylor is, and anybody who touched him and had a chance. I see them communicate all the time at different Texas high school coaching events. And, again, you see a lot of those qualities. Very different offense, but you see a lot of those qualities in how he's building a staff and building a team. And so, again, I think the way he's pulled all those people from so many different places into a locker room and got them to pull the rope the same way to win 7 games is really impressive. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. We understand what this thing looks like. We know they're a talented team, and we're excited for this opportunity.
Big fella TJ Finley at quarterback, some time at Auburn, LSU. What does he do that jumps out in the video?
He does a lot, but he's a huge human.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what he's listed at, JP. You can say
6'7", I think. Yeah.
6'7", 255 or something like that. That's a big dude, man. That's like a 4 or 5 in basketball. That's not what you normally see at the quarterback position. So we're going to have to eat our Wheaties in pregame to make sure we can get him on the ground. But we'll do it, and we're going to try to put a lot of pressure on him. And we understand that the tempo of this offense is kind of a thing in and of itself, right? Like, you've got to be able to make sure you get lined up and make sure you're ready for the fight when the ball turns over. And that's what we're going to challenge our guys to do. And then we got to make some plays, and we got to create some turnovers. And offensively, we got to take advantage of all those opportunities. I know this coordinator that we're going against, Coach Packey, pretty good because he's been with Manny Diaz for many different stops for about 10 years. And so, that's another variable that we keep messing around about. A lot of coaching circles think he's going to be going with Coach Diaz to Duke, and will it happen before or after our bowl game? So there's all these things. You're trying to make a plan and then make contingency plans for what might happen. But it'll be very interesting to see what plays out in the next week of life. Obviously, a lot of us are going to celebrate Christmas and get to the bowl site and have a great bowl game on the 26th against whatever team shows up. And again, we're preparing for their best. We want their best, and we want to put our best on the field.
Hey, thanks so much. I just looked. I was so engrossed. Went over time. But what are they going to do to us?
Fine us?
Yeah.
Yeah, let them do it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for everything. Merry Christmas. And I'll be talking to you up in Big D, the day after Christmas.
Indeed. Thanks, JP. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Indeed.
Dunleavy family head football coach of our Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren. As Coach said, so many people thank you so much to Sydney setting this up. Take some barbecue, please, on the way out. Please take some barbecue on the way out, or I will, or me and Mrs. Rice Owls Voice are going to get a lot of barbecue sandwiches the next few days. Thanks to Walter every week doing what he does, and Clara back in the studio. Thanks to you all for coming out, whether we're eating oysters or eating barbecue right here. Remember, Rice taking on Texas State in the ServPro First Responders Bowl day after Christmas, December 26th up in Big D against Texas State, the 14th bowl game in Rice House history. Nate and I were driving up the morning of, coming back, and we're going to have a fun old broadcast on that one. Have a great rest of this night. God bless. Go Owls. Rice Fight. Be talking to you in Big D coming up. This has been the Mike Bloomgren Show at the Patterson Center. Talk to you up in Dallas. This has been the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to the First Responder Bowl edition of the Mike Bloomgren Show, live from Acme Oyster House. Acme Oyster House, the best little oyster house in Texas. Tonight's show was brought to you by The Parking Spot. The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered. Also by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716. Lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network.